against Nigerians for allegedly engaging in mass prostitution and ritual killings in their country. In a viral video on Tuesday, the protesters in their large numbers were seen wielding placards with various inscriptions such as "Armed robbery and violent attack must go. Our health at stake due to mass prostitution. Who protects the right and freedom of Ghanaians? Nigerians are kidnapping and using people for rituals. Our kids are getting missing because of Igbos," among others. They also displayed a picture of a man who was allegedly killed by a Nigerian in the Accra area of the country. A protester said Nigerians have taken over their major markets and are perpetrating an evil of sorts in their country. So today we're going to be exploring Nigeria's complex relationship with other African countries. Brotherhood or bias are the intricate dance of Nigeria's African relationships. A stigma or stereotype, Nigeria's image in the African context. Unpacking the stigma against Nigerians in Africa. Is there a hidden bias in Africa? These are some of the points we'll be looking at and questions we're going to be asking as far as this topic is concerned. You can call me Solo, you can call me Mr. Solo, you can call me Souls, you can call me Mr. Souls, but officially I am Solomon of them. Welcome to Matters. Again, what are we talking about today? Some Ghanaians have protested against Nigerians for allegedly engaging in mass prostitution and ritual killings in their country. In a viral video on Tuesday, the protesters in their large numbers were seen wielding placards with various inscriptions such as "Armed robbery and violent attacks must go. Our health at stake due to mass prostitution. Who protects the rights and freedom of Ghanaians? Nigerians are kidnapping and using people for rituals. Our kids are getting missing because of Igbos," among others. They also displayed a picture of a man who was allegedly killed by a Nigerian in the Accra area of the country. A protester said Nigerians have taken over their major markets and are perpetrating evil of sorts in their countries. So again, we're going to be exploring Nigeria's complex relationship with other African countries, a brotherhood or bias, the intricate dance of Nigeria's African relationships, stigma or stereotype, Nigeria's image in the African context, unpacking the stigma against Nigerians in Africa, and the question, is there a hidden bias in Africa? These are some of the points we'll be taking a look at and questions we're going to be asking as far as this topic is concerned. And of course, joining me on the program today to help explore these and other stuff is Elvis Asia. Is a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst. Barrister Asia, thank you for joining us on Matters today. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, Barrister Asia, can you hear me?
Thank you for having me on the program.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I think I pressed the wrong button, so I couldn't hear you before. Again, thank you for joining us on the show. So let me start with a general overview. Whenever you hear stuff like this is not the first time this is happening. We've had even more of that in South Africa. We've had in other African countries, and away from the African shores, we've had other stuffs going on with other countries and Nigerians. But it's one thing for you to be having this stuff in other parts of the world, but having it in Africa, that's kind of a bitter pill to swallow, especially when you're considering Nigerians' role as far as the development of other African countries concerned.
Well, Solomon, the truth of the matter is that this is not surprising to me. It's expected. When you have, it is said that for every 4 Africans, there's a Nigerian. So Nigeria is a big country with a large population, and with all the developmental challenges that we're having in the country, a leadership crisis. Many Nigerians are moving to other countries, including countries in Africa. And this mass movement of Nigerians to other parts of the world and Africa, of course, would create friction with people from other parts of the country, and that's what we are having. Whilst it is true that Nigeria has had a great leadership role in Africa, it has helped so many African countries, and all of that, but you have to also look at the fact that you have a whole lot of issues. In South Africa, where you have what they call xenophobic attacks, and that is largely driven by fights or conflict over economic resources. The average South African feels that Nigeria is coming to take what belongs to them, and then don't forget that because of the way we have the kind of challenge we have gone through as a people. We have a lot of confidence. We succeed everywhere we go, and so that may also attract envy and all of that. And so that's what we are finding across Africa. And again, we haven't really managed our reputation well. We haven't really done anything about ensuring that Nigerians are respected in other parts of the world. And then finally, I would say that of course we have a few Nigerians who are also doing a lot of bad things wherever they go, and that also justifiably give people the leeway to attack Nigerians and generalize like what they are doing. And don't forget that with the age of social media and the ease of communication, isolated cases of Nigerians involved in crime and other illicit activities, would easily move around, and that would be given as if it's the story of all Nigerians, which is not true. I'm sure in Ghana, if you go to Ghana, you see that Nigerians are shaping, major aspects of the Ghanaian economy. Nigerians are investing in their real estate. Nigerians are doing well in academics. So we need to find a way to showcase all of this, and I think that's the way we should look at it, because it's not just enough to think that other African countries are not grateful. Yes, you can have that, but you have to project your country. You have to project the image of your country, and there are so many things we need to look at in addressing what appears to be, in local parlance, beef against Nigerians.
Now, let's take a look at some of the issues now. Is it enough though? Because I mean, we have plenty, and while every country, every society have its bad acts, just like you have good Nigerians, we also have bad Nigerians. But we have more positive news coming out from Nigerians, way more than negative news. But looks like the negative stories tend to be overshadowing the good deeds, just like you've rightly mentioned. Nigerians contributes to the country largely. Wherever country they find themselves, they contribute a lot to that country, and a lot of leaders of this country would attest to that. But why is it that the few image and the few bad eggs we have, it's kind of overshadowing the good deed we've done? Or is it just an issue of bad news travels faster than good news? Is that what this is?
Well, so I think I'll start from the last point you made, which is that bad news travels, faster than good news. I think that's is a normal part of human existence. So, but historically, you see that bad stories, make more headlines than the good ones. And like I said earlier, with the advent of social media and the fact that almost everybody is now a TV or a radio station for themselves online, bad stories can easily spread. And that's obviously one of the major reasons why we're having this image problem. And I think another reason why we're having the image problem is, the fact that Nigeria is a huge country. There are so many people. And you cannot have a country where all you get are cents. There will be some, little percentage that will be involved in crime. And with the huge population of Nigeria, that small percentage is a lot across the whole of Africa, across the world. And that is also explains why there appears to be so many stories about, the bad things that very few Nigerians are engaged in internationally. And another reason is that nothing happens by chance. We haven't done anything about Nigeria's image. We haven't done a lot of the people, a lot of the younger generation. They're not aware of Nigeria's contribution to Africa's development. They're not aware of what you do with ECOMOG. ECOMOG is some story, of the past. And so you need to.
And ECOMOG is just one example out of quite
exactly. As part of Nigeria's foreign policy, we have to also look for a way to ensure that in all these countries, there are stories that that speak to Nigeria's contributions to Africa. I speak to even in Nigerians in those countries who are doing very well for those countries and ensuring that the health sector, the education, transportation, and other sectors of economies are doing well. So you need to showcase it. It's a deliberate policy. We are not doing anything about it. So the only story people get is the one they get on social media, and what you see on social media is usually the negative one. Is it sexual content or some bad news? That's what sells.
Now, but there's something wrong with that theory, though, in the sense that Nigerians aren't the only nationality with bad eggs. We get a lot of bad stories from so many other countries, other African countries outside the shores of Africa, and so many other bad eggs. So, but why is Nigeria's case exceptional? Because it is looking more like a stigma at this point in time, where when you look at Nigeria now, it is that bad image that comes. It's looking more like a Nigerian thing than a human thing now.
Well, I think two major reasons. I mentioned one, which is the fact that Nigeria's population is huge. So you have a lot of Nigerians in many places, and as you have more Nigerians in many places, there will still be few. That few will be a whole lot of number when it comes to how bad news is projected.
Okay.
Right? That's one of the reasons that I see. Another reason is that Nigerians are very confident people. Nigerians believe that they are leaders anywhere they find themselves. And that's that can rob people. So when Nigerians come into a dry, broken area in other parts of Africa, they turn into gold. And so there will be envy. It's a natural human. Like I said earlier, this is one comedian had mentioned that what you call xenophobia attacks is nothing more than beef, in quote. And that is because the indomitable spirit of the average Nigeria is a threat to. In the minds of some people, is a threat to their own survival. Because when you are competing with Nigeria, the chances that Nigeria would win is very high. I recently traveled and I was on a train from Paris to Berlin, and I had a discussion with a Canadian guy who told me that his girlfriend was from one of the African countries, and he said that because I mentioned I was a Nigerian, and that the guy keeps talking about Nigerians, and he then asked me, what is it about Nigerians? Imagine that. So this is an African. A girl from another part, I think Uganda or so, telling his boyfriend, who's a Canadian, more about Nigerians than about Ugandans.
Not our own
And
country.
so imagine that might generate beef. I think so it's a major issue. And in terms of achieving economic prosperity and doing well as a person, that confidence that Nigerians have helps a great deal, and that can also be a threat to people. I think that may explain largely what we are seeing. But let's also not forget that if few Nigerians have spotted some of the bad attributes that we have come to imbibe as a people. This is get rich quick syndrome. This issues like cultism, that is now a street problem in many parts of Nigeria. Some Nigerians are spotting that. So you will expect resistance. You will expect people to be shocked.
This mind to want to succeed by hook or by crook.
Exactly. And so that's so affecting the image of Nigerians. And so those few people that you see that are doing the wrong things, they project whatever they are doing on the rest of us. And so that may explain the current issues that are facing. But most importantly, leadership is also a problem. Because the hope of Africa, lies largely on Nigeria, and the failings, of our leaders in transforming the country, it's rubbing off on other parts of Africa. Many of them are not happy with Nigeria, and they see that Nigeria is a letdown for them. And so they've forgotten
they take it out on the Nigerians closest to them.
Exactly. So it's also partly the leadership. Those are some of the issues that may be responsible for this high rise. In other words,
we have a two-edged sword identity. I mean, the fact that we have a huge number is supposed to be an advantage, but at the same time it is a disadvantage because we are so much that we looks like we're going to dominate other African countries, leaving our own country. So the numbers of Nigeria going to this country is becoming a problem, considering the fact that when you look at African leaders and the little resources that is supposed to be available for their country, and then you now have Nigerians coming to struggle those little resources with them.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. It's like you said, the fact that we have a huge population is a big advantage, but also a disadvantage, and the disadvantage is amplified by the fact that there are fewer opportunities back home, and more Nigerians are now having to go out. In order to meet their needs, and so as more and more Nigerians go out, the few bad eggs will also be part of those movements, and that will be telling on the rest of Africa. And I think that's one of the issues that we are dealing with.
And of course, you also mentioned bad leadership. There is a saying that when you don't take care of your children, well, your neighbors will definitely not take care of them. When you don't handle your own property well, other people will not handle that property well. So in a situation where our leaders are not treating Nigerians the way we should be treated, well, our neighbors or other countries will be taking a cue from our leaders.
That's very correct. When you have a leadership crisis in the country, and people are now having to travel to Sao Tome and Principe, having to travel to some of the African countries that are not up to a local government in Nigeria. That's the problem. So we need to be able to have a better strategy that that seeks to look at the burgeoning population of the country, and then look for how to create more opportunity. We don't seem to be doing that. It will look as if we are just trying to drive our people out. That syndrome is not now just about going to the UK, Canada, or European countries. It's also about going to neighboring countries in Africa, where people, Nigerians, are having to struggle, with the local economy and the local community, and that friction would typically generate some of the issues that we see on a daily basis in South Africa, in Kenya, and currently in Ghana.
And to
we have had historically, we have had such similar conflict with Cameroon, but that is more driven by boundary disputes and related, and so we've had all these challenges, and essentially the reason is that we need to fix our home. If your home is good enough and conducive for your children, they won't be out there, and being exposed to other people. Nigeria should be a place where others will be rushing to. It shouldn't be a case of we Nigerians running to other places because we want to survive. Yes, it's good to explore and travel, but it should be because you have some very fantastic opportunity, not because you want to survive. To be able to design our system in such a way that Nigeria can survive back home.
But, to buttress the government situation, let's take a country like US, for example. I mean, when you check countless data and countless rundowns, there is a general perspective that Americans are some of the most hated people in the world. And then there are also perceptions, just like Nigerians, that Americans are very loud and very cocky, but then you can't see Americans having the same issue. No matter what you think of them, no matter what you think about them, you hardly hear that a country is having an issue with an American in that country because of the image that America already have outside. And because American leaders are ready to go to war with any country that messes with their citizens living in that country.
I mean, you are very, very correct. The American example partly explains why Nigeria is also in this situation. Because of America's power and the fact that the country would always come to the aid of every American citizen, they are very confident anywhere they go. And that confidence also make people to feel that they are pompous or they are arrogant, but you're not going to say that they are kidnappers or they are prostitutes, like we have been accused in many of these places, or they are and then exporting courtesan and all of that. So yes, it's just an aspect of it. The big image of Nigeria, the giant of African posture of Nigeria and Nigerians, and the fact that Nigerians are doing well and they are able to translate whatever it is that they are doing into something very substantial, that can expose them to some of these hatred or attacks that we see in Africa. But on the other side, it is we have to find a way to manage our image, particularly in relation to a few of us that are involved in all sorts of criminalities and exporting it across Africa and the world. We cannot run away from that. Look at Nigeria, for example. The average, so many people are into internet fraud, what we call Yahoo, for example, and it's a scourge. As a lawyer, I've had to recently represented people that were brought from Ghana for alleged internet fraud related issues. So, I mean, things like that can create a very bad image for the country, and all of these are tied to the dysfunctional leadership system that we have in the country that does not really have the people at the in terms of ensuring that the people can survive legitimately. We have created a system where it is almost very difficult for anybody to succeed doing the right things, and so we are encouraging young people to be doing the wrong things. And so as a struggle, they spot those kind of things. These get rich want to make money without effort or with little or no effort. They spot it, and that will conflict with the culture and practices other places that they are going to. And so that will also be an aspect that we need to deal with in fixing this problem.
Now, Nigeria is No, at least we Nigerians, that's what we think. That we're very welcoming. We don't discriminate, visitors in Nigeria, especially other African countries. I mean, our borders are practically porous, so every Tom, Dick, and Harry from every other African country can come to Nigeria and get our citizenship, and all that. So we don't exactly discriminate. But the same can't exactly be said for Nigerians in the 80s. And of course, the typical example, will be the Ghana must go situation in 1983. When the Nigerian government under President Shehu Shagari enacted a directive ordering about 2 million Ghanaians to leave the country. Do you think this is a retaliation?
I don't think this is a retaliation in a sense. I don't think it's an express or direct retaliation
because the protest today is tagged Nigerians must go, which is a flip of Ghana must
Nigeria must go with I mean the reasons are different in a way from what happened in the 80s, right? I don't think it's a direct retaliation, because if you look at it, what's happening in Ghana is not necessarily a national economic policy of Ghana to expel Nigerians from the country, right? I don't think there are a law or some regulation that is directly aimed at ensuring that Nigerians are taken out of the country. I don't think that's where we are at the moment. I think where we are at the moment is essentially that, some of these countries, I mean, the citizens of other countries where a lot of Nigerians are flocking to survive, are feeling threatened. We have also exported some bad behaviors, some of which I've mentioned earlier, and that is giving them concerns. And, as a result of that, they are expressing some of these view, but I don't think it's a national policy. I don't think the Ghanaian government, for example, has made it a national policy to expel Nigerians, unless, of course, those found wanting. Because I'm sure that if you really look at the Ghanaian economy, the contributions of Nigerians will be so immense that it will not make sense for you to say you want to expel Nigerians as a matter of national policy. I think this is a friction between ordinary Nigeria. It's a people-to-people kind of friction that we are seeing that's happening in Ghana, in South Africa, and other countries. But because I haven't really, nobody can say express that what we're having is the national policy, for example, to expel a certain number of Nigerians from any country. I think it's the case of like you have in South Africa, people who feel feel threatened by Nigerians, I can do it spirit and successes. I'm trying to make noise about Nigerians.
No, but
in Ghana, where they are basing their own on the issues about criminalities associated with some few Nigerians.
Now,
but like I said, if you look at
some may draw some similarities between what's happening now and what happened then, because it didn't just come with Shehu Shagari. It didn't start with Shehu Shagari coming out to make this pronunciation. It started with skirmishes like this. I mean, the Nigeria's economy weakened after the 1970s oil boom, leading to increased tensions, between locals as in Nigerians and immigrants, and of course there was also an incident of a robbery where the Vice President Alexander Ekweme's house was robbed, including 2 Ghanaians. The final straw that led to this. So it's kind of like have some similarities.
Yeah, I mean, the similarities are there. The only point I'm making is that perhaps we haven't gotten to the point where it becomes a national policy for Ghana to say, "Oh, we want Nigerians to leave." The similarities are there in terms of the economy. Now, the Nigerian economy is having serious challenges, and a lot of Nigerians are moving out, and they're moving to places like Ghana. And Ghanaians are also, of course, feeling threatened, but at the same time, they have a ready excuse with the actions of a few bad heads among those there. Yes, the similarity can be in terms of, because whether you like it or not, once your economy is challenged, as we have it now, people will always want to go to places where they can survive, where they can meet with the basic necessities of life, where they can find hope. And a lot of Nigerians are finding that in other African countries like Ghana, and so many others. And so yes, you can say that is the similarity. The only difference like I have said, is that for now I haven't seen a national policy by Ghana in terms of regulation to expressly spend Nigerians, right? Because of this reason or whatever reason. Maybe we'll get there, just like you have rightly mentioned, the Nigerian situation that happened was preceded by protests, preceded by actions or inactions of actions attributed to Ghanaians before the government eventually now came up with the policy to expel a lot of them. Maybe we haven't gotten there in Ghana yet. Maybe we'll get there. But everything boils down to the fact that if you need to fix your economy, because if the Nigerian economy was good enough, the number of people that will be going to all these places will be reduced. And so you have, a reduction in a lot of the complaints that we see. And because, like I said, if even the Ghana economy as it is today, Nigerians are doing, fantastically well. They are, contributing massively to the Ghana economy. And if you want to look at the real estate sector in Ghana, Nigerians are, there. If you look at other sectors of the Ghanaian economy, but a situation where your country has now become it's laughable. Ghana, how big is Ghana? I don't think Ghana economy is even bigger than the economy of Lagos in terms of productivity. But the challenge we are having is that the Nigerian system is broken. Our leaders have failed to prepare for the burgeoning population of the country. And so you have a lot of immigration, a lot of Nigerians migrating to other parts of Africa. And so there will be friction. Things like this will not naturally be expected. The only solution essentially is to ensure that you are able to fix your economy in such a manner that Nigerians can at least meet their basic necessities back home, and we don't have to travel to other parts of Africa just for survival.
Now, we've talked about some of the solutions, like the government fixing our economy and, for Nigerians to be. But do you think that will help there? Because it looks like we Nigerians are nomadic in nature and are quite explorative, especially those from the eastern, southeast parts of the country. We like adventures. We are adventurous in nature, we are nomadic in nature, we are explorative in nature. Would you think that will stop Nigerians from traveling to other parts of the world?
The intention is never to stop Nigerians from traveling to other parts of the world. You can't even do that. Even the biggest economies of the world, the US, China and other countries, you have their people in other parts of the world doing. But the question is, what are they doing in those countries? What are Nigerians going out to do, right? If you are migrating to other countries just for survival, you can, the chances of getting into crime or getting into the wrong things will be there. But if you are migrating because you want to export, your expertise, you want to export your business, you want to expand your business, and what have you? Some of this negative publicity will not be there. The people from this part of the country are very great business people, and so if the focus is simply on business, even other countries will call for you. They'll be happy to have you around because you are helping to develop their countries. It's just like an American, for example, coming to Nigeria as an expat. Are you going to be crying that it's coming? You look at weight. Or we have a lot of Indians who are here, for example, doing business in Nigeria. Lebanese doing business in Nigeria. Americans, Europeans.
Lots of Chinese
are here doing business in Nigeria. But the question is, if we can attribute dangerous means of survival to any of them, we'll do the same thing. We'll complain, we'll cry, right? And it wouldn't matter whether it's just about 5% or 2% of them. because like we already established, the bad news will travel fast, and particularly in this age and time. So everything comes down to ensuring that you have a vibrant economy. Your economy is vibrant enough. Nigerians we should be experts across Africa. We shouldn't be, people just moving around because we want to survive. That's the point I'm trying to make. People will always travel to do business, to do, to explore and all that. But it shouldn't be because you just want to live, to survive or to escape Nigeria. And it is that, this desperation to escape Nigeria or to survive that could push people into doing the wrong things, in the rest of the world. But if the economy back home is okay, you're not running because you cannot have a job. You are traveling because you want to get something better than what you have at home. I mean, you look at
to see what's out there other than what's happening in Nigeria.
You can contribute out there. The difference will be there. But right now, people are migrating from Nigeria because they want to survive.
Now, what can the government do in terms of a bilateral relationship, of course, because we see our president traveling to other parts of the country, other parts of the world, other parts of Africa. We see our Minister of Foreign Affairs. What sort of modalities should be put in place to reduce the stigma against Nigeria? Because it is one thing for you to have as you've rightly mentioned, you're going to have some bad eggs, but instead of resulting to more stigma, they should be able to consult the Nigerian government to say, "Oh, we have one or two bad eggs here. How do we proceed? Should we send them, repatriate them to your country, or we should use our local court here to judge them?" And it ends there, instead of just spreading. Are there things that government can do, kind of bilateral modalities or international relationship that we can do to end these bias and this stigma?
So that's a very good question. Nigeria plays a very major role in so many
African countries.
No, not just African countries. In ECOWAS, for example, in EU, for example, we play major roles in all these organizations. You can, as a matter of Nigeria's public policy, use this organization to ensure that issues like xenophobia and what have you, are tackled. Institutional response across Africa in a seamless way through all of these organizations, so that just like you said, there will be there will be penalties. There will be a response unit in using these organizations to ensure that where there are genuine cases, where you have cases like this where Nigerians are targeted for no reason. Nigerians are targeted because the people are feeling there should be a response through these organizations that can deal with that should be able to deal with that. Nigeria should use power. Nigeria contributes substantially more of the funds that runs these organizations. It's just like America, for example. America uses international organizations to maintain its power. They're not doing charity.
Just like what
Nigeria like to do charity.
Just like what Donald Trump is doing now, trying to leverage on America's power.
You shouldn't be doing charity because you think you want to give somebody money. When you are paying so much to maintain these organizations, then you should be able to use these organizations to ensure that the right things are done. Your citizens of Africa. So you're going to make it look like the citizens of Africa, are protected everywhere they go, and you have institutional mechanisms through these organizations that can respond. And of course, bilateral relationships with these countries, and these countries must be made to see, that Nigeria is not a liability to anybody. But for you to say that, it has to be true, and that means you have to also fix your economy. Now, we also have to invest in, the media. There should be a response. This impression that people have of Nigerians, the fact that when you think about kidnapping, you think about Nigeria, you think about what do you call it?
Cybercrime.
Internet fraud. You think about Nigeria. We have to fix it. Now, if you have a media response in all these countries, to showcase what Nigerians are doing to lift their economies, to showcase Nigerians who have gone to those countries, who are succeeding in their businesses, who are succeeding in their, in their professions, and are contributing massively to the development of those countries. That will change the mindset of these young people across Africa who do not seem to understand who the average Nigerian is. And so that, and then again, we also have to, whether we like it or not, find a way to use our embassies to educate our people in other parts of the world. You cannot be exporting criminality to other parts of the world. So we have to find a way to also ensure that our people are educated and they understand, what they need to do when they are in other countries, and the kind of relationship, the kind of business, and the kind of things they can do, the kind of documentations that they need. It has to be an investment by Nigeria on its people in diaspora. We have all sort of diasporan, what do you call it?
Commissions
institutions
and establishments
in Nigeria,
institutions.
but we don't see the effect on the average Nigerian on the streets of all those countries. And so you have to invest. You have to make sure that Nigeria. And the other thing is that the way we treat our people, if other people see you being treated like nothing at home, they will also treat you as such. We have embassies that are dysfunctional, that are practically not doing nothing to help Nigerians in problems in all these countries. And how do you think that those countries will treat Nigerians? If you cannot treat your citizens well, the reason why an average American will, people will be afraid to deal with an average American is they're afraid that the American will come to their aid. So when you don't do what you should do to protect your citizens, others treat them as liabilities. And I mean, if you are not respected at home, how do you want to be respected outside? So there are a whole lot of things that needs to be done. And then again, like I said, the most important thing is that we have to fix our economy. We have to cement our place in Africa. This giant of Africa thing appears to have been something of the past. We have to bring it to the present, by fixing our economy and making sure that our economy is so robust that other people are coming to even benefit from it, rather than seeing us as hungry people who are looking for a way to survive.
Barrister Asia, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Solomon. It's been nice.
That was Elvis Asia, a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst, talking to us on the matters today. Now the phone lines are open. I'm sure you're itching to make your contributions. So, time for you to have your say. The town hall is open. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. Or you can talk to us via WhatsApp, call or text us via WhatsApp 081 717 56338. I'll call the numbers again, this time slower. 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. Or WhatsApp, text or call us via WhatsApp 081 717 56338. Okay, we have our first caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Oh, we lost him or her. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show.
My name is Joshua Pockins. I'm calling from Okota.
Okay, Joshua from Okota, talk to us, sir.
With regards to the matter on discourse.
Yes.
Yes, like your
guest.
Your guest. That is totally right. How would you expect we have the wrong person in the hall of power, and you expect that
Uh,
the outsiders to take us
Joshua,
serious.
Joshua, you're gonna have to call us back. We can hardly hear you. You're breaking.
Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now?
It's spotty. It's spotty. You're gonna call us back. Sorry about that. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the show. Tell us the name, where you're calling from, and your contribution.
Mr. Solomon. Good afternoon. This is calling from Yanasas.
Good afternoon, sir. Okay, talk to us, sir.
Yeah, you see, this is when a father refuses to do what is right to the children, the children will surely misbehave outside. Yes, they surely misbehave outside. And when a child is misbehave outside, it's the father that will bear the shame. It's the Nigerian government that have failed to do what is right. So I don't blame the Ghanaians for doing what they are doing. I don't blame them. Maybe South Africa started this xenophobic attack, killing Nigerians. Now Ghana, they are still protesting peacefully. I pray it will not get to a time where they will start killing people like that. So because their government, they have failed us, they have disappointed us. So when you are looking for survival, you can do anything. So I don't blame them. It's not their fault. If our fathers have given us our food and we eat and be food, not go outside to misbehave. When your son is buying food from you and outsider is taking the food from you for free, how do you think your son will feel? It doesn't make sense, you know.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dad. I'm enjoying your show.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. My name is Chubike. I'm writing from Afro Agongbadi. My take on the aforementioned issue is short and simple. When the confidence of our country, a certain ethnic group is being discriminated against, and we are being asked to leave their region. So I see no reason why we should complain if other countries ask us to quit their countries. After all, Nigerian government started first. Remember the popular phrase "Ghana must go" of early 80s. So our leaders must wake up from their slumber and provide the country with good and quality governance. Thank you very much, Chibike. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for joining us on the show, sir.
Yeah, my name is James Agas. I'm calling from Radago Badagry.
Okay, talk to us.
Yeah, the issue is this: is that I have never seen some other countries that their economy that is good in this Nigeria, or even travel to play. I have been to some Europe. When you check, it's very hard for you to see all these countries that their economy is good outside. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside. Yeah, it's very hard for you to see all those people their economy is good in outside, because their country is very good. If your country is good, what are you going outside to do? Like, so the last person has called. Our leaders has failed us. They have failed us in right, left, right, and front and back. In fact, despite Nigerians are travelers actually, but because the economy is too bad, it's not as before. I can remember my father told me in 70s, earlier 80s even. They even in UK, they are begging Nigeria to come over their place. But only Nigeria travel there to go and study and come back because our economy is good. Since our Nigerian economy has collapsed, you see Nigerians traveling, looking a place to survive. That is why every country now can come and molest Nigeria. A country called Giant of Africa. When I was small, I grew up, I didn't see the giant again in this country. I don't know whether the giant is by population or in landmass, which there is some country that something like some countries that their landmass is bigger than Nigeria. I don't see the reason why we are giant again, because of our leaders has failed us. In fact, let them find a way to repair the country so that the younger ones that are coming up from us will enjoy the benefit of the land. It's a blessed country blessed by God, by natural resources, by human resources, by even by bread, in everything. And some other countries, they are jealous in us because they can't beat us in any way when you come to bread. All these more especially all these little Africans that are around. You see. So okay. God bless Nigeria and give us good leader that can put us in right position. Thank you and God bless you, sir.
God bless us indeed. Thank you very much for calling.
All right.
Okay, let me read more messages from WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Solomon, and to your guest, Solomon Asika from Mushin. The Nigerian system is dysfunctional now, and that's why we see all this kind of hatred from other countries against Nigerians. My junior brother ran from Imo State to Ghana because of insecurity, not only because the economy is not good, but because of insecurity. He has his money with him, and many others like him from Kano and other states with insecurity. So if the government is serious, they should solve insecurity, and also these other countries have seen the way government treats its citizens here. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show.
I'm calling back.
Oh, okay. I hope the connection is better this time.
So at one time I was telling my friend that if Nigeria was the way it was supposed to be, that one state in Nigeria can run the world economy for 2 years. So that was like, it's a lie. Let's see. The thing that is in Nigeria alone, it's because we have not discovered other resources that we have. Only the oil that we have, people are cleaning themselves for it already. If we not start using the other resources that we have, then what will happen? It's just that we don't have good leadership. Nobody in this world can beat Nigeria if they agree with themselves. Both in education, in manufacturing, in science, in anything in this life. You cannot beat Nigeria. It's just that a lot of division, no religion and tribal. That's why Nigeria is where it is. I'm telling them, Saudi is not better than Nigeria. No country is better than Nigeria. It's just that we have not agreed with each other. That's just the problem.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, we have a call from WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. You're going to have to call us back. Your internet is bad. Okay, let's go back to normal phone call. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, Solo.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Victor from Oshodi.
Okay, Victor. Okay, talk to us.
Solo, I remember 1983. I think I was about 14 years then.
Okay.
I stayed in Ojaraba with my brother. So that time, I noticed that there was a time they started saying Ghana must go, Ghana must go. I don't know what exactly means Ghana must go. But I do see many girls and boys around us there, they say Ghana. We are very small. So at a stage, one morning like this, I saw one big trailer, different trailers from all corners with different people. They pack many people inside that trailer with bags. So my brother was telling me that this people is from another country, Ghana. That's when I was hearing those earlier, Ghana. And then those sections, they go through those Ojala battles and this and that. So this time around, Nigeria is the one that deporting them back. The same Nigeria are telling Nigeria this time around to go to their own state. Are you hearing me?
Okay, here you go on.
So the same people now remember what Nigeria did to them, and the same Nigeria are still doing the same thing now. Not that they have already changed. So other countries have right to do the same thing. We are the one doing ourselves. Once we realize that we are the same Nigeria and treat Nigeria as the same Nigeria, then other people can be able to treat us as they welcome us. We Nigeria did not welcome ourselves. Hello. You are hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Could you believe one day I stand in my shop one evening, there is a very big hold up in front of our shop. One Yoruba man, I'm sorry to mention him, the man just stand and be watching the hold up. He say, hi, assuming now Igbo people go to their own state, this hold up will not be like this. So one man just come out, say, man, what are you saying? He say, I said it. Assuming now Igbo people go to their own state, the hold up will not be. Just to tell you what Nigeria is doing to themselves. And now we are complaining that other people are doing it to us. So until we change, other people will change.
Okay.
Bye, and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. Okay, let's go back to WhatsApp. Hopefully the network is better this time. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, let's go back to Namakol. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Solomon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, this Mazaka data from Okota.
Okay, Maz, they talk to us, sir.
Yeah, concerning what is happening in Ghana today, me, I don't have much. But I'm only waiting for the president spokesperson, Bayo Nonoka, to comment on this. After what he said in the 2023 election, telling the fellow Nigerians that year will be the first and last Igbos are participating in the Lagos election. I want you to come out and say it because he started it in Nigeria here. If we cannot accommodate ourselves here, how the people don't from outside decide what they will do now? We fail to tolerate each other. So if they start it outside, we shouldn't blame ourselves. You understand me? So let me come out and comment on this.
Okay.
Because it started in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go back to WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. What's going on? Network. Sorry about that. Keep calling. For whatever weird reason, I'm finding it difficult to get WhatsApp calls. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. I just hope it's not from our end. Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah. My name is Mr. Bigger.
Mr. Bigger.
Exactly, I'm Mr. Bigger.
Okay, calling from?
I'm calling from Ajawese.
Okay, talk to us.
Yes. Just like some persons have actually observed, we are actually caught up whatever is happening to us. In Nigeria here, some people are agitating that the Igbos should go. It's not even difficult to mention that in Lagos here, the Yorubas are asking the Igbos to go. Now, why wouldn't another country?
Some Yorubas.
Some Yorubas are agitating that the Igbos should go back to the Igbos, to their land. So why wouldn't another country, copy them? When Buhari and Sibajo came into power, I did a song, One Nigeria, where I was actually asking that we unify, that we become one, that we work together. That was the purpose of the title of the song, One Nigeria. But I can let you know, some time ago, the president, first lady, though there is no office like the first lady, was actually asking that the people should be thrown into the forest. You get it? Every policy of the government right now is so discriminatory. It's so tribalistic. It's so segregated. So why wouldn't Ghana copy what is happening? It's unfortunate that within West Africa, when we say we belong to ECOWAS, that we within ourselves will be agitating for the exit of people that belongs to ECOWAS. ECOWAS has collapsed. It has collapsed because of the leadership of ECOWAS, which President Tinubu is the head. Since this thing has been happening in Ghana, has the president come up as the chairman of ECOWAS to make a statement? Of course not. Because he cannot do that. He knows that some of his Yoruba people are doing the same thing here, and his wife is championing it. So what is happening to us is coming from us. Look at it.
Okay.
Until when we realize that human beings are same, we are one black people. We should protect ourselves. We should guide ourselves. Until we get a president who can do that, other countries of the world will copy Ghana and after Nigerians go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. If you're just tuning in, this is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll go for a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Nigeria, a nation at a crossroads. The economy, politics, security, and human rights. Who speaks the truth? Who tells it all? Join Jerry Apelohai on the issues on VOP TV, where we dissect Nigeria's biggest challenges with top and unbiased analysts from home and in the diaspora. Featuring best-selling author and veteran journalist Peter Anosike, civil rights advocate Comrade Ibuchukwu Ezike, historian Dr. Dapo Sobos, UK-based scholar Dr. Joe Udeaja, UK-based legal expert Barrister Nwachukwu Anene, Sierra Leone Owen Chris Otaibe, and many more. No spin, no bias, just the hard facts and deep analysis. Catch the issues with Jerry Apelohai live Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Nigerian time on YouTube, Facebook, and all social media platforms at Voice of the People TV. The issues, because Nigeria deserves the truth.
Okay, you're welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM with Solomon FM. Let's go back to our phone calls and some messages. Okay. Hello, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, Solomon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, this is Chairman.
Chairman. Oh, Starman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Talk to us, sir.
My brother, I see this our country, I don't know, we just turn it to something else. You know, the problem is that Nigerians lack the attitude. Let's forget about what you are saying. Let's forget about trying to market ourselves. Good. Are we supposed to be talking all this? Are we supposed to be complaining with all that God gave us? You know, people are suffering, all these kind of things. We have big land now. We are supposed to be giants of Africa, but we are the ants of Africa. People are watching.
Sorry, you're going to have to call us back. I think it's time to take a pause from the phone calls and read some of the messages we have here. We have quite a number of them. If our government does not care what happened to her citizens in our country, or a situation where citizens are discriminated against in the same our country, how do we expect other countries to respect your citizens? Marcel Ohakam Ago. Thank you very much, Marcel Ohakam. A good day, Big Solo. American president said that you guys should go back and hold your leaders to fix your country until we do the right things by asking our leaders to do the needful. We will keep seeing and receiving such from other countries. Sheikot from Itire. Thank you very much, Sheikot. Good afternoon, the wise one. What do you expect when our leaders do not value us? Mama Excel from Ojo Favor. Thank you very much. Good day, Solomon. This is so ridiculous. Everything is being politicized in this country. People are complaining about our behavior in their country, and we are saying something else. Let us always know our boundaries when we are in other people's land. May God help us. Or lambs in Oshodi. Thank you very much. Or lambs. Okay, let's pick more calls. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show.
My name is Gospel. I'm calling from Ilasa.
God's power from Ilasa. Talk to us.
I want to contribute for your program this afternoon. I've been listening to you. You know, we are complaining that Ghana people, they are asking us to go. I want to remind you that when Fashola was the governor of Lagos, do you know that he deported Igbo? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you know that Fashola, when he was the governor of Lagos, he deported Igbo people back to their place? That is my first time of hearing it in the country. A citizen of a country is being deported. I mean, in any country, there is a place you don't speak anyhow. But in public God, in the market, in a public place, Yoruba person will be referring to Igbo, you're a foreigner, go back to your country. I paid a house rent at Elata. I don't want to mention the street. My money was refunded back to me within 2 hours. They didn't know that I'm an Igbo because I spoke Yoruba very well. I schooled in Yoruba here. I speak Yoruba very well. I went to Barawa Primary School at Ijesha and I went to Kashe Bosa School at Ishaga. So I speak Yoruba fluently. So when they said that I'm Igbo, my money was refunded. They said they don't need Igbo. So these things have spread wide. So what do they expect other countries to do to us? It's a shame. And our country, when Buhari was a president of this country, do you know that sectionalization was very high in Buhari tenure? And the same thing with the Tinubu, who is our president today. When Tinubu was a governor of Lagos State in the first tenure, he drove Igbo people away from Balogun. That is when he located them to Trade Fair. That is why when you go to Trade Fair, you see Balogun. Balogun is the first people that developed Trade Fair from Lagos Island. He drove Igbo people away from Lawrence and Mbuka. So this thing has spread wide. So Igbo people hate Yoruba hate Igbo people, and the only thing that will stop it, according to Jimmy,
that's not true. Let's not start making false narrative. Of course, there are always some bad eggs. You know, there are some bad Igbo people in Lagos, right? Just like we have some, bad Yoruba. So don't use the actions of one set of people to paint everyone, because I mean, people can also say Igbo people that are fraudsters and thieves because of the activities of few bad Igbo people. So don't use that to paint others. Okay.
I've had you, sir. Okay. Do you remember?
Oh, okay. We lost him. Good afternoon, Mr. This is Mr. Dandy Chinyonye. When we have a wrong person on seat as president, people must leave the country. Immediately, Tinubu took over as president. My rich cousins and several others have moved their investment out of the country. You, Solomon, you fit invest your hand-earned money for this country where security no day. Our leaders presently have really failed us. Everything that China is exporting to this country can be produced in Aba, Abia State. But Nigeria never gave Aba that privilege because of disunity. Hello, good afternoon. I seem to be having problems connecting with people from WhatsApp today. I hope it's not from our end. If it is, I'm sure our technicians are listening and they'll do something about it. Because I've tried to pick calls from WhatsApp, but I've not been able to connect with them. So again, I do sincerely apologize for those of us that have been trying to call me via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, Suluwise. Did I hear someone say that politicians fail us? Well, it is true, but we failed ourselves more than the politicians did. And until we unanimously get it right, things are about to get worse. 2027 looms. We are going to we're not going to be united or to get it right. We will go the ethno-religious way again. Chibuzo Ijesha. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, my name is Chibuzo. I'm calling from Lagos.
Chibuzo, okay, talk to us.
Yeah. For what is happening at Ghana, for me, it's very appalling because all these things started from our government. You understand? It is our government that want this thing to be happening. Because assuming our home is quite okay to stay, maybe there is no insecurity, there is enough food. I don't think people will be running away. Even if people will go, will travel, I think it's not much as it is now. It's because of our bad leadership, our bad government, and the bad leadership. That is why all these things are happening. Who is Ghana to ask Nigerians to go? Who is Ghana? Where Nigeria is? Who is Ghana? Nigeria, a very big country, a giant of Africa, formerly. Now look at how we have messed up ourselves. So for me, it's very quite unfortunate that we are seeing ourselves in this kind of situation. So that is why we are calling everybody, even if it is possible, first, if it is possible, let Ghana drop them away. They should come back home and join us here. We that is home here that don't have money to travel. They should come back here. So that all of us will go and meet the government. I will protest, tell them to do the right thing, so that our country will be benefit for all of us to live. You understand? So for me, I am calling every Nigerians in 2027 to come out so that we can do the needful.
Okay.
See, 2027 is died there. You rather die, sacrifice ourselves and die. Make sure that this country is better for all of us to live. That 2027 we still see this same government enter into power again. So I'm calling every Nigerians to come back home so that we will fix our country and the country will be better for us to live together. Okay. So that's my own contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Good afternoon, Solomon. What happened in Ghana is a reflection of what is happening here. In the absence of rule of law, impunity will be the order of the day. You can see this government has destroyed all our laws, value system, culture, election norms, ethics. Has been thrown to the dogs and has turned this country to a gangster paradise where anything goes. By renaming structures and institutions after themselves, now this gangster attitude has been emulated by the APC sycophants that could name a street from Charlie Boy Street to Olamide Bado Street, creating the ethnic tension in Lagos. Remember how this government changed our national anthem back to colonial regime days. All institutions compromised for election gains is a shame. The worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Lekon from Lagos. Thank you very much, Lekon. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Thank you for your good work. Mr. Solomon, see, I didn't blame the Ghanaians for the reaction because is what you name your dog is what another person will call your dog. So is the bad image that our government imposed on citizens, and very soon other African countries will emulate Ghana. Emulate Ghana. Nke Oputa is my name. Thank you very much, Nke Oputa. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Good
afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Good afternoon, sir. You have Mr. Best Mandela.
Sorry?
I said you have Mr. Best Mandela.
Okay, talk to us.
Okay. The issue of the Ghanaians, they are complaining on one thing. They don't complain that people who are doing their legitimate business they are after. They complain that Nigerians came there with high prostitution, internal fraudster, and then ritualists now. That's what they complain. And then before you argue with somebody, you ask yourself, the name that these people are calling me, did I bear that name or I'm not getting that name? You ask yourself first. I was born in Ghana. I grew up in Ghana. The Nigerians they even have name, the one market that they name Makola, which is that Yoruba name. And then the market has exists since all these days. Nobody is quarreling with any Nigerian or have problem with Nigerians. But this latest one that they went, this economy is now crumbling. They went there with very illegal things. If you are talking about drugs, my sister married one man that was pushing cocaine. I can even talk and war. So that's how Nigerians they are. If you are there, you are doing your business with legitimate business. Nobody will be disturbing. But don't go to another person's country and then you turn because you are not obeying the law of their country, then you go to another person's country, then you start disobeying the law of those places. They will come sit down and fold their hand and look at you now.
Yeah, true. Okay.
So when somebody goes someplace and then he says he's building kingdom in the kingdom, he want to be king for another person's town. How is possible? I'll ride with them. You went there to go and make money. Go and make your money and leave and go back to your country. Are you going to live there forever?
Okay, thank you very much.
So very simple. Ask yourself first. All right, thank you, Brother Solomon.
Thank you. Okay, someone here is responding to what another person say. Please, your caller was wrong about Fashola because it was not done based on tribe. He also sent some northern beggars back to their states. John from Ijaniki. Okay. Anytime a tribal bigot is in power, that's what you see. APC is a tribalistic party. Buhari, Tinubu, and Kwankwaso are siblings of one character, tribalism. Jerry Ikeja. Okay. Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. What's going on with WhatsApp today? I don't know. Nigeria has been pregnant over 15 years and now delivering what they have taken in. The solution is go back to your tribe. Okay, thanks, Mr. Sulu. I don't know what this means. The person didn't write his name. What does it mean by go back to your tribe? Good afternoon, Solomon. Igbo should pray for them to be accepted in their own country. Okay, I don't understand what this statement means. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon.
Good afternoon, sir. You're my last caller for today. Unfortunately, you have less than 2 minutes to talk to us. Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
I'm Edward, calling from Sango.
Edward from Sango. Okay, talk to us, sir.
Yeah, this thing that is happening to in Ghana now is Nigeria that first party and it's reporting back to Nigeria also. But what we need to do in this our country is to look into many things. Like this 2023 election, everybody have seen how they pursue some tribes out from Lagos. And that matter has not been treated. This matter is supposed to be treated now before we go to the next election. Then second one, this
sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
This electoral reforms is supposed to forward it with full honesty before election. That's supposed to have been done. Electronic voting, so that is a way to go. That is a way we can get a rightful leader. Because if we overlook it and go into rigging election, we cannot get what we are looking for. Let us go to National Assembly. The whole masses of the nation will go to National Assembly to demand for it. That must be done before election. That is how to start the movement. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, unfortunately, this is where we say bye-bye. So what did we talk about today? Some Ghanaians protested against Nigerians for allegedly engaging in mass prostitution and ritual killings in their country. In a viral video on Tuesday, the protesters in their large numbers were seen wielding placards with various inscriptions such as "Armed robbery and violent attacks must stop. Our health at stake due to mass prostitution. Who protects the rights and freedom of Ghanaians? Nigerians are killing and using people for rituals. Our kids are getting missing because of Igbos," among other inscriptions. They also displayed a picture of a man who was allegedly killed by a Nigerian in the Accra area of the country. A protester said Nigerians have taken over their major markets and are perpetrating evil of sorts in their country. And of course, with that as a premise, we explored Nigeria's complex relationship with other African countries. We looked at the intricate dance of Nigerians and Nigeria's African relations. We also took a look at a stigma or stereotype Nigeria's image in the African context, unpacking the stigma against Nigerians in Africa. And is there a hidden bias in Africa? These are some of the points we looked at and the questions we attempted to ask and answered as far as this topic is concerned. So it's time for us to go. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Tomorrow, Chioma will be here to take the show, and after which I'll be back on Thursday. Same station, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Same time, 1:30 p.m. The program is Matters. Do follow our social media handles at VOP903 FM and subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP903 FM. Good afternoon. Thank you for listening. I am Solomon of FM. Bye-bye.